Well, hello, folks. Welcome to my module on critical thinking in the classroom. I've had the privilege of teaching at the university level for approximately 28 years. And I would say that at least for the past 20 of those years, I've been very passionate about critical thinking. So much so that I actually tell my students that regardless of the title of my course, what I'm actually really teaching is critical thinking. And the courses that I teach vary from organizational leadership to the psychology of oppression, social psychology, statistics. But regardless of the topic, what I'm really trying to do is to transform the way that my students actually process information. You probably are familiar with the term, give a person a fish, feed them for a day, teach them how to fish, and you feed them for a lifetime. That's kind of how I think about critical thinking in the context of education. While learning names and dates and definitions are important, right, we know that those are the things that they tend to forget about a week after the test, right? So those aren't the things that are going to stay with students. But if you can change the way that they learn to process information, I think that's something that tends to stick with a person. In fact, I would dare say that it becomes a part of their personality. And ultimately, it makes them a better, not just student, but a better employee or manager or coworker, neighbor, spouse, parent, right? So I think in that sense, critical thinking becomes a major impact for people's lives. And so I'm excited about this module. You'll find that it's divided into a few different parts. There will be an introduction section, which will attempt to kind of lay a foundation for what critical thinking is. Then I'm going to kind of divide the remaining sections into introducing and giving you some experience with some of the tools that I've used and like in terms of critical thinking, which are kind of divided into sort of three camps. For me, there are critical thinking tools that are good if the literature that you're either trying to digest or you're trying to produce is in narrative form, which is akin to storytelling. There are tools out there that I think are very helpful if what you're trying to do is engage in expository learning, right? By expository, we mean you're attempting to explain something. And once again, whether you are the learner or the person attempting to create this content, you should find those tools helpful. And finally, argumentation, right? If you are attempting to make an argument for something, or once again digest one, then I think there are some tools out there that might be helpful. So my module is kind of organized around this foundation and then sort of sharing these tools. You'll find that at the end of the second, third, and fourth modules, there will be assignments that once again are just designed to give you an opportunity to play around with some of the tools that I introduce in the module. I hope that you have fun, and you'll perhaps understand what I mean by that when you look at the very first introduction module. Take care.